you guys enjoyed and what you did not like. Now, keep in mind, nothing that you write on the whiteboard can I tell who wrote it. Okay, there is absolutely, honestly, no way for me to figure it out. So I would love your honesty. I'm hoping that you two can write, or you three, I'm sorry, your least favorite part of the lab, of the course. This can be specific labs we do. It can be topics we covered. I would also like you to list your favorite parts. And then on the bottom, I'm also going to ask you to include things you would like done differently. Now, please don't write no homework. Okay, me giving you homework is part of the class. In order to get a half credit grade for this class, you need to do homework. So that's not a good constructive criticism. Nope, Ethan, go ahead and write whatever you want. We're going to work on this just for a couple of minutes. We're not going to spend all day. But I'll give you guys about 5 minutes to go ahead and put whatever you can think of up here. Again, I'm looking for constructive criticism, things that I can take and use to make this a better course. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 2 more minutes. All right, thank you guys so much. I went ahead and I was writing some of these down as you guys were writing, and I'm also going to take a screenshot of it. I think that it's great to have some, as I said, constructive criticism so that I can go ahead and make this a better class for next time around. So I do really appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to do that for me. And for our last class today, what I would like to do is to look at chemistry in our community. How is chemistry used in our everyday lives? And I'd love to have sort of a conversation with you guys about this, not just me showing you a PowerPoint. So if you have anything you would like to add, please go ahead and let me know. So just a couple of review questions so that you have a good chemistry background. Chemistry is the study of atoms. Atoms are the building block of nature. How many atoms are there in a cup of tea? In a cup of tea. There you go. And chemical science is shaping our future. So let's take a look at the chemistry of flowers. Okay, Cami and Savannah, you guys are out in Hawaii. There are flowers around you year-round. Unfortunately, here in the Northeast where I am, flower season is over. However, there's lots of chemistry in a simple flower. The fragrance, or the smell of a flower, is chemicals reacting together to form that aroma. When you look at a flower, the colors are a type of chemistry. You're looking at different chemicals and creations to make those colors, different chemical combinations. Touching a flower, when you touch a flower, you are feeling the molecules. How they are composed will give you a different feel. Chemistry at home. Virtually everything in your house is chemistry. When you get a shower and you use this shower gel, wallpaper in your house, food, baked beans are chemistry. Teflon, like what lines your pans, some cooking pans, was discovered by accident, but it is a chemical creation. Energy efficient appliances, windows, doors, those are all being made better by chemistry. Buildings that change color are being created by chemistry. Can anyone think of another way that there is chemistry in our homes? Go ahead and raise your hand. Type it in the text chat. Let's open it up. All right, perfect. Food in the fridge. Great. And if food begins to rot and gets moldy, that's chemistry. The smell of food, as it changes, as it cooks, the molecules are warmed. For example, a microwave. When your microwave is cooking, it is boiling the water inside of the food. It's creating a chemical change in the water inside of your food. Chemistry is everywhere at home. Paint. To change the color paint in your house, you're adding different chemicals and particles of chemicals to make the color. Great job, Ethan. Different metabolisms change in the food to keep it from freezing. Matte paint, particles are added to the texture of the paint. No drip paint, polymers are used to change the consistency of the paint. Okay, improving performance. Our leisure time has been changed by chemical science. Things like sports equipment or computer parts are all changing and working better. Here we have a picture of a tennis racket. The strings of a tennis racket are made differently than they were even 5 years ago, so they're much stronger now. They get more bounce. The game of tennis is changing because of that. The ball is moving faster. Baseball, the ball can be hit faster or harder because the bats are made out of different materials. Carbon fiber is being used instead of steel in some sporting materials, and it's 3 times stronger than steel. Okay, if you're watching TV, you have a better flat screen display because of chemistry, so you can see things better. What other ways has chemistry advanced sports? Go ahead and either turn your mic on and let me know, or put it in the text chat. What other ways has chemistry advanced sports? Very good, Cammie. And athletic shoes. I actually have never seen the movie Flubber. But the makeup of athletic shoes, they are much lighter now, so athletes can jump farther because they don't have so much weight on their feet. Can anyone think of another way? Energy drinks. Good job, Savannah. Gatorade was made at the University of Florida. Yes, balls are bouncier, Ethan, because of the makeup of the plastic that the ball is made of. Okay, flat screen displays on TVs and computers. Before, screens were made from cathode ray tubes. There were actually tubes in the back of a television. That's why they were called tube TVs. Now, the present day, there are liquid crystals in the screens and plasma displays. The future is light-emitting polymers and electronic ink. Go ahead, Ethan.
Isn't there possibility of screens being made out of nanoparticles?
Certainly, I mean, the possibilities are endless. I didn't really read that research, but I mean, I am sure that there definitely is the possibility. So, modern masters. Chemistry is used in art. Chemistry is used to preserve art. Lots of old paintings are being preserved using chemical ideas, using vacuums to suck the air out so that they do not decay. Chemistry and art in terms of making the colors, making new materials for artists, paints that do not run so much, they stay better. Paints that are more runny so that they can blend better. New colors are being formed, all based on chemistry. Photography is another place where chemistry is apparent. More so before, when you actually had film in your cameras. Chemistry was used to make the film, develop the image, and print the pictures. Now we use digital cameras, but when we print the pictures, we are still using chemistry to get that ink onto the paper. Cooking is chemistry. Chemical changes are responsible for changes in flavor and texture of food. Chemistry keeps food fresh. Chemistry And that's a typo. I'm not sure what I meant here by most E numbers are naturally occurring. Healthy cakes. Those are chemistry. Scientists and cooks all over are working together to make healthier food, replacing bad preservatives, unhealthy fat with better things. That is all chemistry, better substitutes. Ice cream is around because of chemistry. Ice cream is actually a pretty complex structure. It's made of ice, fat, air, and sugar. It's pretty stable. Different chemical compounds added to your ice cream can make your ice cream melt quicker or slower. It can also change the taste and flavor of your ice cream. So it affects the stability of the ice cream. Energy is chemistry. This is an up-and-coming chemical field. Chemistry can be used to store energy. Batteries are an example of chemistry. They store the energy that can be used. Now, a space shuttle's solid rocket fuel that burns 10 tons of fuel per second, that's stabilized in rocket fuel because of chemistry. Now, the up-and-coming wave of chemistry is to look for cleaner sources of chemistry. Ways that solar power, water power, wind power can be converted into energy and stored in some sort of battery or some sort of charger so that it can be used when there is no sun. So that solar panels are useful all the time, not only when it's sunny out. Gas and oil. Okay, those are types of chemistries. The raw crude oil is refined into gas. There are additives added to the fuel to make it okay for our cars. So let's take a look for a second back at our whiteboard. And we're going to pause our PowerPoint for a minute. And we are going to come up with some ways that you see chemistry in your everyday life. Oh boy. In your everyday life. What are some ways that you see chemistry in your everyday life? All right, let's try to brainstorm with a couple more ideas up here. All right, why don't you each try to come up with 2 ideas up here? All right, it looks like we have some good things up here. We have my body trying to keep from freezing by changing body heat. We have taking a hot shower every morning, baking and cooking, driving a car and breathing, taking vitamins every morning with breakfast. Those are all certainly ways that chemistry is in your everyday life. Driving your car, you are using chemistry in your oil. Your engine is making chemical reactions. Even things like the upholstery in the seat that you are sitting on would not be possible without chemical reactions. So great job relating it to your everyday life. So like I mentioned a couple of slides ago, a new sort of face of chemistry is called green chemistry. It's chemical science that is environmentally friendly. It uses more efficient production of chemicals that we need to make changes. So, for example, 53% of people recycle paper, but only 23% recycle plastic. If more of the paper and plastic was recycled and changed chemically, then we would need to cut down less trees. Green chemistry a lot of times is more expensive in terms of money, but it needs to be looked at from a holistic point of view that if trees are cut down solely for the purpose of making paper, eventually there will be no more trees to cut down to make paper. Another green chemistry that's up and coming is cars powered by hydrogen. Organic farming, the use of natural pesticides and fertilizers versus chemical fertilizers. Chemists isolate and develop and make these natural pesticides. Even though they're not made out of chemicals, scientists and chemists are involved in determining what will kill the ladybugs. In my garden, I try not to use chemicals. This year, I had a very bad problem with squash bugs. If anyone has a garden and has ever had squash bugs, you know they're little yellow and black. They're actually a beetle that will destroy your squash and your cucumbers and even your eggplant crops. So what I did, sort of like Japanese beetles, Ethan, what I did is I researched, and there was a pesticide I could use called 7 that said that it might get rid of it. Or there was an organic method, which is diatomaceous dirt. Diatomaceous dirt is actually very finely chopped up pieces of sea creatures, little plankton, phytoplankton, zooplankton, and it scratches the beetles' protective exoskeletons, and they die. So that was the method I chose, and I still had some squash beetles. However, some of them died. Now that was a solution that I used to not use chemicals on my garden. However, it was chemists who first discovered that. Okay, fashion, looking good is down to a chemical science. There are lots of ways chemistry is in your everyday looking good life. 2-in-1 shampoos, shirts that don't need to be ironed, toothpaste and toothbrushes are a result of chemistry. Toothpastes and paint actually have many similar ingredients. There are just a few differences. So think of that as you are painting. And up and coming are self-cleaning clothes, which would be nice to have so I did not have to do quite as much laundry around my house. Synthetic dyes are a result of chemistry. Tie-dyes, an example here, it can make whatever color is desired. The dyes can work very quickly. Sometimes dyes can glow in the dark. Some glow under black lights. Chemistry can help us lead healthier lives. Pretty much all medicines have their basis in chemical sciences. We can clean water and purify water through chemical science. We live twice as long now as we did 100 years ago as a result of being healthier and taking medicines. There have been cures for cancer, AIDS, and different diseases that were once a definite death sentence based on medicines and chemistry. If you have asthma drugs, there's lots of chemistry in this one little inhaler, the plastic shell of the container, the active ingredient, or the pharmaceutical in the medicine, the spray formation of an aerosol. Those are all chemistry related. There's also biochemistry. Biochemistry is looking at living chemistry. The human body is made up of 100 trillion cells. The adult body, for instance, is 50 to 65% water. Carbon is a very key element in the human body. And amino acids are another chemical structure in the human body that are very important. There are proteins that digest foods, fight infection, build organs, and move muscles. Blood and oxygen is chemistry. The DNA or genetic molecules. Scientists are learning more and more about our DNA. Most of those scientists are chemists. So chemical science is important to all of us. It is in the world all around us, and it is in more than you may have thought. Chemical science is also always looking to the future to make changes to make our world a better place. So if you decide you want to be a chemist, and that is what you are going to pursue in college, you are definitely going to need a strong math background and a strong science background. So it will include courses like calculus, pre-calculus, statistics, probably some computer modeling courses. All of those courses for the math. You'll also need to be strong in computer sciences and in just basic sciences. You'll need to take biology, physics, and all sorts of different chemistries before you even get to decide what type of chemistry you are going to specialize in. So, like I said before, your chemistry kit from Bridgeway is yours. You may do with it what you would like. There are no reasons at all for you to return them. You do not need to do any other labs in them. What I am going to do today after class is go through, double check all of our grades. By tomorrow, you will get a grade report from me, which will have your grade right now. If for some reason you are missing an assignment, I will let you know what it is. it needs to be turned in to me by Friday at noon in order to receive a grade. I will pass your grades along to your advisors, who will then put your chemistry grade on your transcript. This chemistry lab is worth half of a credit, so you will get a half a credit of whatever the grade is. You will also get an email from me with a link to print a certificate as long as you pass the course, which I haven't figured grades out yet, but all of you, I'm guessing, are passing. You will get a certificate of completion, which you can print off of that link, just proving you finished the course. It will come as a link through Moodle. If you guys have any questions, now is certainly the time to ask. I hope you guys all enjoyed the class. Again, I really appreciate the feedback that you gave me. It definitely allows us to make a better class the next time around and improve all of our Learning Lab courses. If you are taking a course during Session 2 or Session 3, Session 2 starts the first full week of January, so the week after New Year's, and Session 3, I believe, starts the second week of March. But you will hear more from that specific instructor about a week to 2 weeks before the class. So does anyone have any questions that they would like to go over? All right, well, I really enjoyed having you all in class. I'm done. If you guys would like to exchange numbers or emails, that's perfectly fine with me. You're all taking some sort of chemistry class. It may be a good idea if you wanted to bounce ideas or thoughts off of one another, that's certainly fine. If you don't want to, that is completely up to you. But I will leave the class open for another couple minutes. You guys can do that if you'd like. Oh, it's freezing there, Ethan. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I really enjoyed having all of you in class.